The coat check ticket burned in my palm. Borrowed apron, cheap glasses, wedding ring hidden in my pocket. He stood 3 feet away, waiting for his coat. My husband looked past me like I was wallpaper. I forced my voice steady. "Can I help you, sir?"
41. Thank you.
36 years together, and I was a stranger. I slid his coat from the rack, hands shaking. His phone buzzed. He smiled at the screen. That smile sliced me open. "Big night," I said. "Retirement."
40 years. It went fast.
I helped him into the coat I'd bought him seasons ago. He didn't notice. He didn't even pause. "Your wife must be proud," I said, daring him to say her name.
I hope so. I hope she knows what she means to me.
My throat tightened behind the fake polite smile. "Do you tell her that?"
Not lately. I've been focused. Too focused.
Microhook, and that's when I realized he sounded like a man confessing, not to me, to a stranger. "Why?" I asked, like I wasn't the woman he owed.
Life gets in the way. You chase the destination and forget the person beside you.
Then you look up and wonder if you waited too long.
I almost dropped the coat hanger. "I haven't," I whispered. "There's still time."
I hope you're right. Thank you for listening.
He pressed cash into my palm like a tip for my silence. Then he walked out without recognizing his own wife. I stood there, smiling professionally, dying privately. And I still hadn't seen the worst part of the night. Let me go back. Start from the beginning, before coat check humiliation, before I learned how invisible I'd become. My name is Lenora Hale, early 60s, tight bun, sharp memory. Married to Gavin Hale for 36 years. He worked at Alder and Finch Strategies, the kind of place with glass walls and quiet power. He gave them his best decades, and I gave him mine. Night classes, 2 jobs, kids, bills. I kept the house running while he climbed. Not bitter, not at first. We told ourselves it was temporary. Then temporary turned into our entire life. The retirement gala was supposed to be a milestone. For him, yes. But also for us. The end of the grind. The beginning of time. Gavin told me, calm as a contract, spouses aren't invited.
It's employees only, Lenora. That's how they're doing it.
His voice was reasonable, that tone he used at work. The tone that leaves no room for questions. "No spouses at all?" I asked, trying not to flinch.
It's formal. It's simpler. Trust me.
Microhook. Trust me used to feel safe. That night, it sounded like a lock clicking. I tried to believe him. Because believing is easier than rebuilding your whole reality. Then I found the receipt, folded into his jacket pocket like a secret waiting to be discovered. Jewelry boutique. 1 bracelet. $6,420. I stared until the numbers stopped being numbers. I don't own a bracelet like that. Our anniversary had come and gone with a card. My birthday got delayed into oblivion. So I asked the question my body asked before my mouth dared. Who was he buying diamonds for? And why was he hiding me from his biggest night? After the receipt, everything felt suspicious. His late arrivals, his short answers, his phone angled away, the way he'd smile at a screen and swallow it fast. I asked, "Is everything okay?"
Of course, I'm just tired.
He kissed my forehead like I was a relative. Then he walked away. That's when fear gave me a plan. A plan I'm not proud of. I searched the gala venue, found the catering staff listing, called with my calmest voice. They needed extra hands. Black slacks, white shirt, hair back. The manager said, "Show up early." So I did. Storage room, smudged mirror, aprons like surrendered flags. I put on thick framed glasses. I shoved my wedding ring into my pocket. I became staff. Microhook. I thought the disguise would protect me. It didn't. It exposed me. The ballroom glittered like money pretending to be joy. Fairy lights, white roses, linen so crisp it felt judgmental. Servers rushed by with champagne like a parade. I grabbed a tray of appetizers. My wrists ached. My heart ached louder. I started circulating, keeping my face neutral. I recognized familiar company faces. The golf buddy, the payroll woman, the polished couples. Then I saw Gavin at the center table, silver hair perfect, suit flawless, laughing like he belonged to someone else. I hadn't heard that laugh aimed at me in months. A man waved me down for a napkin. He looked right through me. 30 years of holiday parties and I was air. That invisibility hurt. And it gave me access. I moved closer to Gavin's table. And that's when I saw her. Harper Vale. Mid-30s, honey blonde waves, red dress like a flare. Not beside him. Close enough. She looked at him with something tender and heavy. Gavin avoided her eyes like they could burn him. Then the speeches started, and one phrase made my heart stop. A colleague took the microphone and praised Gavin's legacy. Deals, rescues, industry legend language. Applause on cue. Then the colleague raised a glass and said it. He called Gavin not just a mentor, but something even more. My stomach dropped hard. The room clapped while my mind screamed. The colleague gestured to Harper Vale. He announced her as Gavin's successor, the new head of his division. Harper stood and smiled like she'd practiced in mirrors. As she passed Gavin, her hand brushed his shoulder. Quick, almost polite. But Gavin leaned into it, just slightly, like a flower turning toward light. My tray tilted. I corrected it too fast. Harper spoke at the microphone. She thanked everyone. She credited Gavin for nearly 3 years of guidance. She called him her anchor. She looked straight at him while saying it. I set my tray down. My hands wouldn't behave. I shoved through the service door into the kitchen. Stainless steel. Steam. Shouting. Then out the back into an alley. Winter air slapped my face awake. I leaned on brick and tried to breathe. 40 years. Hours. I'd worked, sacrificed, waited, and now I was locked out of his goodbye. My phone buzzed. A text from Sophie, our daughter. Mom, are you okay? Dad said you stayed home sick. Microhook. That lie didn't just hurt, it told me he'd rehearsed it. I texted back, I'm fine, sweetheart, just resting. Another lie. Lies stacking like plates. I wiped my face, straightened my apron, went back inside. I wasn't done. The party shifted into mingling. People loosened ties and leaned into private laughter. Gavin stood at the bar alone with a drink. Harper was surrounded by admirers, but she kept glancing toward him. I approached her circle with my tray. Appetizers? I offered, voice steady by force. Harper looked directly at me, not through me. For one terrifying beat, I thought she saw my face, but she just smiled and thanked me. She asked if I'd worked events long. I lied. New, extra shifts. She smiled like she understood survival. I congratulated her on the promotion. She admitted she was terrified. She said Gavin believed in her. She mentioned a divorce, a custody fight, starting over. Not a villain monologue, a wound. I said carefully, he sounds like a good mentor. Harper's eyes drifted to Gavin. Then she said the sentence that spun my brain sideways. She said his wife was lucky. She said he talked about her constantly, about their long marriage, about how she believed in him first. My knees went watery. Microhook. If he praised me behind my back, why erase me to my face?
I backed away before my expression broke. I retreated to the kitchen and tried to build innocence out of scraps. Maybe the bracelet was for Sophie. Maybe it was a work gift. But the numbers didn't feel like work, and the lie about no spouses didn't fit anything. I texted Eli, our son, a quick question about money and gifts. He replied fast, "No." Then, "Mom, what's going on?" I didn't answer. I couldn't say it out loud yet. The night dragged toward the end. Guests collected coats and compliments. I watched Gavin drift toward coat check alone. And you already know what happened there. He didn't recognize me. He tipped me for listening. Then he left. I stood in the coat room and cried into a borrowed apron. Microhook. And still, I didn't go home and scream. I went hunting. The next morning, I lied again. Told Gavin I had breakfast with my reading group.
Sounds nice. Have fun.
His casual approval made me sick. I drove to a coffee shop near the office district. I waited in my car like a person watching her own life from outside. At 9 sharp, Harper Vale arrived. No red dress, just jeans, sweater, messy bun, dark circles under her eyes. She ordered coffee and opened her laptop. I watched for 10 minutes, gathering nerve. Then I walked in. "Is this seat taken?" Harper looked up, confused. Recognition clicked. "You were the server." I swallowed hard and dropped the mask. "I'm Gavin Hale's wife." The color drained from her face. I told her my name. I told her how long we'd been married. I told her we had 2 kids and a grandbaby coming. Harper asked why I worked the party. I was spying, I said, and hated myself for it. Then I asked the question I'd been choking on. "Are you having an affair with my husband?" Harper didn't act offended. She looked sad, then tired, then honest. She said no. She said the truth that made my whole theory collapse. She told me she's gay. She told me her divorce was messy partly because of it. She told me Gavin knew. He protected her privacy at work. She said the way she looked at him wasn't desire. It was gratitude. She said he reminded her of her father who died young. She said sometimes she looked at Gavin like shelter. I sat there, breathing like I'd run a mile. "Then why did he hide me?" I asked. Harper set her cup down carefully. She said she couldn't answer that fully, but she could tell me one thing Gavin said recently. He was planning something for me, a surprise. He made her promise not to ruin it. Harper said he'd admitted he'd been distant. He wanted one perfect moment to make it right. Microhook? A surprise. A bracelet. A lie. Why did love need secrecy? I drove home in a haze. Not relieved, not yet. Just rearranged. The house looked the same. Porch swing, old tree, garden beds. A whole life built on repetition. I sat in the driveway and stared at the door. Was I about to tear us apart over fear? Or was fear the only thing forcing truth? I walked inside. Gavin was in his study, papers spread everywhere.
Reading group ended early.
I said, "There was no reading group. We need to talk."
Okay.
I said, "I was at your party last night."
What? How? It was employees only.
"No, it wasn't," I said. "I saw spouses. You lied to me."
Lenora, I can explain.
Then explain. Because I found the jewelry receipt. Because you've been distant. Because you told Sophie I was sick. Gavin went pale, like the lie finally had weight.
Oh, God. I'm so sorry.
Sorry for what? I snapped. Who is the bracelet for?
It's for you.
Microhook. And that was the moment I realized my fear had been aiming at the wrong target. He stood slowly and opened a drawer. He handed me a thick folder.
Look, please, just look.
Inside were brochures, a hillside villa, a cooking course, a long coast cruise, routes, notes, bookings with my name scribbled in the margins.
I've been planning our retirement together. I wanted it perfect.
So you lied, I said, voice shaking. You locked me out and called it love.
I panicked. Pieces weren't confirmed until the last minute. I didn't want you to figure it out early. I wanted one moment that was only you.
And the bracelet? Gavin crossed the room to his closet safe.
He brought back a small jewelry case.
Open it.
My fingers fumbled the latch. Inside, a delicate diamond bracelet. A small charm engraved coordinates.
The exact spot of our first date. I had the charm custom made. It took weeks.
Tears blurred the stones into starlight.
I know I've been terrible. Secretive, absent. All the things that look like betrayal. But I was trying to give you something back. You gave me decades, Lenora. You believed in me when I was nobody. You raised our kids while I chased titles.
I want the next chapter to finally be ours.
I sobbed, hard and ugly and real. I so needed to hear that. You idiot, I choked. I became a server to catch you.
Lenora, I would never leave you. There's no one else. You are it for me.
Then why not tell me?
Because I wanted you to feel chosen, out loud, on purpose, not as an afterthought.
We held each other in that dim study. Paper, old coffee, and 36 years of miscommunication. You hurt me, I whispered, even if you meant well.
I know, and I'm sorry. No more secrets that make you feel erased.
We sat for hours and flipped through brochures. We argued softly about beaches versus mountains. We laughed at cooking classes. He admitted the real fear.
I'm scared of time, of waking up and realizing I wasted the good years.
Microhook. That fear was real, but it didn't excuse the lie. Weeks passed. We made rules. No surprises that require deception. No lies that recruit our children. Then our grandbaby arrived. Sophie sent a photo at dawn. A tiny face tucked against her shoulder. My chest filled with a sharp, grateful ache. I almost blew up my life over a misunderstanding. But I also learned something. Silence can be betrayal, even without cheating. Later that season, we traveled. Warm air, olive trees, slow sunsets. A stone villa on a hill. Gavin insisted on cooking like it was a vow.
I can do pasta. It can't be that hard.
The dough fought him like it had opinions.
Why is it sticky? Is it supposed to smell like this?
He set off the smoke alarm within 10 minutes. I laughed so hard I had to grip the counter. We ordered takeout and ate on the balcony under stars.
Thank you, Lenora,
For what?
for believing in me. Still. After everything.
I took his hand, the same hand through births, funerals, and ordinary Tuesdays. Always, I said. Then I squeezed, because I meant this part too. Next time you plan a surprise, tell me. I'm too old for espionage.
Deal. No more undercover operations in our marriage.
And if he ever tries to love me in secret again, I'll drag that love into the light myself.